Good day everyone. So for today's moment, I will tackle about the charts, the graphs, the posters, and the last is the wall display. So what is chart? In general, a chart is a graphical representations of a data. A chart allows users to see what the results of a data to better understand and predict a current and future data. Contains an example of a colon chart that was displaying the number of a unique visitors, which is the computer Hope has received between the years of 2000 and 2006. And then in this example, you'll notice a gentle increases of users without reading any data. So as you can see, the example that I'll provide is that you can see here the y-axis and the x-axis. As you can see, the y-axis here, it is the numbers of users, and in x-axis it is the years of users. So example, in 2005, how many users that was used in computer Hope? So we can see here 50,000. In year 2006 and 2013, we can see here the differences between the years. We can see here the differences of a users. So it is easy to us to identify in this kind of chart. So in this chart, in general, chart is very important. Why? Because it is used in situations where a simple table won't adequately demonstrate this important relationship or patterns between the data point. So in this, to display in this kind of data, the learners can encourage a better understanding. So this chart is very important to be learned. So let's proceed. What is graphs? So before I proceed to the graphs, I have here some activities. I provide here the pictures. The best thing you to do is you identify what kind of chart that I display. Picture 1, what kind of chart is this? Yes, it is a donut chart. How about picture 2? Yes, it is a bar chart. How about picture 3? Yes, it is histogram chart. How about picture 4? Yes, it is a funnel chart. And how about picture 5? Yes, it is a pyramid chart. So now let's proceed. What is graph? So graph, it is a mathematical representation of a network, and it describes the relationships between lines and points. A graph consists of some points and lines between them. The length of the lines and positions of the points do not matter. Each object in a graph is called a node. A diagram showing the relationship between two or more things. An example of graph is showing the relationship between two or more things. An example of graph is a pie chart. If you can see the image here, it is a curve or line showing a mathematical functions or equations, typically drawn in Cartesian coordinating system. A diagram such as a series of one or more points, lines, line segments, curve, or areas that represents the variations of a variable in comparisons with that of one or more other variables. So we can see here the examples, which is the push-ups done by some in a week. So we can see the y-axis, which is the number of push-ups. The x-axis, we can see here the weeks. So we can see here the Monday to Sunday. So in Monday, how many push-ups that sums have? So we can see here it is a 15 push-up. How about the Sunday? It is 35 push-up and so on. So in this kinds of graph, it is very important to be learned, especially to our future students to better understanding. So in this graph, it contributes to present a data that are too numerous or complicated to describe adequately in a text or in the text and less space. So now, before I proceed to the poster, I have some activities here. So I have also a picture here. I have a picture provided here. So the best thing you to do is to identify what kinds of graph is it. So in picture 1, what kind of graph is it? Yes, it is a line graph. How about picture 2? Yes, it is a stack line graph. How about picture 3? Yes, it is a bar graph. Now let's proceed the posters. So what is poster? A poster is a temporary promotions of an idea, a product, or event that put up in a public space for mass consumption. Typically, posters include both textual and graphic elements. Although a poster may be either wholly graphical or wholly text, posters are designed to be both eye-catching and informative, of course. Posters may be used for many purposes. They are a frequent tool of advertisers, such as particularly of events, musicians, and films, propagandists, the protesters, and other groups that are trying to communicate a message. So, I have some examples here, the posters making tutorials, and also the poster making ideas, and the poster making about COVID-19. So, we all know that we can experience a poster, especially in our schools. So, especially if we have our event just like Nutrition Month, we can create a poster about Nutrition Month. And not only for that, especially for the Valentine's and so on. So posters is very important to the learner because it helps to focus and to motivate children, and they can learn about what is poster means. So before I proceed the wall display, I have some activities here. So give me at least one example about the poster. As what I said earlier, some example of poster just like Nutrition Month. We can create a posters about Nutrition Month. We can create also about a poster making about COVID-19, about Valentine's, or any ideas that you want to create and a poster. So now let's proceed. What is wall display? A wall display are important part of any classroom as they make the room appear more inviting and create a better learning activities. Wall display are an important part of any classroom as they make the room appear more inviting and create a better learning environment. Involving wall displays help students to keep track of what they have learned and help them to make connections and develop coherence between ideas, the task, and the lessons. So now wall display also important part of any classroom as they make the room appear more inviting and create a better learning environment. And also this wall display, it is making the learning process visible, and it is an organic part of the learning process, and making an impressions and so careful thoughts to be given to what messages they are giving out. We can see the wall display in our environment. Just like, for example, knowledge, we can see the wall display there, which is the mission, vision, and the core values. So not only for that, but there are many wall display that we can see in our environment. So I have here some examples of wall display, such as the creative instructional materials of our classroom, especially for if we have our future students. We in our classroom we create different kinds of wall display, such as to our students. So I have here a handmade charts for classroom, a classroom displays, ideas, then a roof and poles place board in. Then I have activities here, more examples. We can display in our wall about the letterings, the letters, about the numbers, or any kind that we think it is very important to them to better understanding. So this is all about my topic, which is the graph, the chart, posters, and wall display that was belong in conventional learning resources. So thank you for watching, and God bless us all.